The sequels.
I haven't read all of the sequels. There are too many.
What did you think of the movie?
What?
Ender's Game, the movie, what'd you think of that?
I actually thought everyone was really hard on it. I enjoyed it. But I've been wanting to see that as a movie for practically my whole life, so I was excited. Anyways, continue.
I actually wasn't a very big reader growing up. I wasn't. I read books because I had to. I was forced to in school, and I think I have a little bit of dyslexia, so I would flip-flop things, and so I had to keep reading and rereading things because I'd be like, what did I just read? And so I just reread Catcher in the Rye. I thought it sucked when I first read it. But my daughter's 14 and she had to read it, and I thought, well, she's going to ask me questions, so I'm going to reread this, you know, now that I'm older, and maybe I'll appreciate it more because everybody says it's really good. And I appreciate it a lot more. It's actually a really good book. It's true. But I really like
controversial.
I really like To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yes.
And I reread that recently, and it's even better than when I originally read it. And the book that I really loved when I was a kid, and I reread it, and it's not as good as when I remembered it when I was a kid, this is sad, is The Outsiders. But that was a really significant book to me when I was a kid because it was about cute boys. And that's what I was all about when I was a kid. Have you seen my movie Jason Bateman Thinks I'm Dead? Because it's all about me stalking a cute boy. And that's all I was about. That's why I didn't read books, because I was just busy thinking about boys. That's it.
Have folks seen Jason Bateman Thinks I'm Dead? Amy's film?
It's my documentary. Yeah. So,
At least a few people. Look at it's on Vimeo.
It's on Vimeo. You can watch it and watch me stalk someone. It's good, clean fun.
So when you go home, you can Google this, find it on Vimeo, and watch it.
It really.
And buy her book.
It's actually amusing. It's not me being scary.
If it's not on Netflix, I haven't seen it.
It's on Vimeo, and you can. you have the technology.
This is a question from Serial Velocity of Equestria Daily. He would like to know, what do you think was the best piece of criticism you ever received?
I got a good one. My new book, Pennyroyal Academy. Bookstores everywhere.
The criticism was, this is an awesome book. You should totally tell everyone to buy it.
The head of one of the big agencies in LA read it, and I heard secondhand that what he said about it was, it's just derivative enough and just original enough that it could be big. I'll take that derivative if it means it could be big. And he's not wrong either. I mean, not about the derivative part. You know what I mean? I'm not that narcissistic.
Whenever I get notes, well, when I would write plays or scenes or things like that, you get notes, and notes always make me angry. My husband can't talk to me after I've gotten notes in any way because I just get really pissed off. It's my process. And but when I get notes, one piece of advice that the person giving me notes gave me, and this was in a playwriting class, was like treat the notes like sand going through a sieve, and kind of whatever the rocks, the stuff that sticks, that doesn't go through the sieve, and that's the stuff you should kind of pay attention to. The stuff that you forget about that kind of floats away, don't worry about that crap. Just the stuff that that stays in the sieve, and that's something that, I mean, notes you get from the network, you have to pay attention to all of those, unfortunately, because you're being paid. But when it's stuff that's just your own, and that has been helpful to me, because sometimes when it's your own work and somebody gives you criticism, you're like, but no, I wanted it to be this way, and then, kind of letting it filter through. That's helped me in my writing of my personal work.
If we're talking executive notes, I actually have two great ones that I got my very first job at Cartoon Network. they both meant the same thing. One was, it needs to be 10% funnier. And the other one was painted with the funny brush.
Yeah, I've gotten hit it with the funny hammer.
This is a question again for everyone, anyone who wants to take a crack at it. If you could write an episode of any show you watched as a kid, or any show in general, what would it be?
I guess I would go back in time and really write an I Love Lucy episode.
It seems like there's two parts to that question. It's sort of like the time shifting part, and then the talent part. Like,
Is that a note?
yeah, so if you could ask that question again in a different way, just hit it with the funny hammer. No, because if I could go back in time, I would love to write an episode of MASH. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm good enough. The wish applies to me actually being able to as well. Yes, if I could, I would do that.
That was very sad.
I'd love to write an episode of The Gilmore Girls, if it was still in the air.
I heard that their scripts were like 20 pages longer than a normal script because they speak so fast.
Yeah.
I think I learned that on the studio tour of WB. They have Stars Hollow, you can go there. Sure.
Since I live in LA, I actually went to a party and it was there,
Wow.
kind of
great
in that area.
Great job. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, that's hard. I think I'm going too dreamy, guys. I'm like in different countries and things like that. I think if I could write one episode that I would want to write, even though it would be impossible, I would have loved to write an episode of like Spaced or.
People have seen Spaced? UK show with the chap from Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah, Simon Pegg. Or I don't know why it was the first thing I thought of was Golden Girls. Yeah, why not?
Golden Girls is the correct answer.
I was gonna say Full House. I loved Full House when I was a kid.
Oh, family ties. That's what I really.
Family time?
Yes. I loved.
I feel like we shouldn't let this one go there. How many people in the audience have seen MASH? Fans of MASH. Okay, how many people in the audience... try that again using language. How many people in the audience who've seen MASH think that Josh Haber could write brilliantly for it? No, scream applause for him. Come on.
Very nice of you, but you're wrong.
I'd like to write an episode of G1, My Little Pony.
Do it!
We have a question here from Ms. Sarah Beringer, age 10. What is your favourite MLP comic book, if you've read them? And she'd like you to know that her favourite is The Ponytails.
I like the Heather Niffer one.
It's okay, I know. The thing is, most of these people don't have enough time to read my stuff.
I've read all of them.
Oh, except for Jillian's read more than I have.
I've read all of the comics.
I don't remember what happens in like 98% of my comics, so now I just start texting you.
It's hard to remember though which ones like you wrote. I can't.
Yeah, because we rare tapes.
No. I like the Friends Forever series though. I think it's really cute, like putting random pairs together. And I really liked the one with Twilight and Shining Armor because it reminded me of my big brother and made me really sentimental. And there's like one frame where they're like talking about how they never get to see each other and they're getting kind of like teared up and I was just like, oh. And then I was like, what am I doing? I still screen capped it and sent it to my brother and he was like, really liked it. So anyway.
There, Jillian has completely fulfilled all needs of that question.
Sorry.
Josh, we've got a question for you from Mary, age 10.
Me, I'm her sister.
We saw you yesterday.
Yes, you did.
Well, it was a question for everyone about where you get your book ideas. I think we've sort of covered that if anyone wants to get back into that. But also, Josh, where did you get your fold-up glasses? They are awesome.
These, yeah, you know what? It's really funny. funny.
You got them at the old man's store.
Yeah, I got them at the grandma's store. No, honestly, I at a certain point my eyesight started to go. I have always had great eyesight, but now I can't. I need reading glasses. It just happens. And I was watching the Mindy show. You guys, the Mindy Kaling show.
Mindy Project.
Mindy Project. That's what it's called. And one of the characters on there had a pair of those glasses, and I just went online and looked them up. I was like, oh my god, I totally want those glasses. Those are so convenient. And I just went and looked. They're called Clicks. K-L-I-C. Yeah, they have a little magnet. I just thought it was cool.
Well, I'm going to answer the question about book ideas for this little one over here. I like to think about all the stories and movies and things that I love, and then I try to think about how I can tell it in a new way or with new characters. So, for example, the Rarity book that I wrote, I was inspired by All About Eve. It's an old movie. I know a lot of people say it's supposed to be like single white female, which it's kind of a similar thing, but it's not creepy like that. So I like to, just think of maybe something that I've already enjoyed and put a spin on it and try to retell it. Because there's, most things are kind of retellings of other things anyway, so why not? That's what I do.
I totally agree with that. Because just have a lot of influences just in your head rolling around. Because like Ponyville Confidential was a Brady Bunch episode. There's scenes in this that are from Full Metal Jacket and Platoon. You probably won't notice, but they're definitely Full Metal Jacket in there. But yeah, if you just like watching things and reading things and taking in stories and just let them be in there, then they'll come out in really fun ways.
Yeah, and
If
it's
you-
so,
I was just gonna say, if you guys watch Frasier, your whole life will flash in front of you, because Mitch writes every My Little Pony episode based on Frasier.
Rarity is Frasier.
It's so funny that you said Full Metal Jacket, because before all you guys got here, and we had people in the audience pretending to be you guys, because you guys were all late and I was here by myself. And one of the things we did was we randomly opened your book and pointed to something, and the person read it, and it was like a drill sergeant yelling, and I was like, you guys, and I was just making a joke. I was like, you guys didn't know he wrote Full Metal Jacket, did you? Boom.
You're so transparent. I can't even hide it.
So we have time for one final question. I know the schedule says going until 1:30, but actually we can only make it till 1 because these folks need to get to the airport. I know, it's a shame. We would love to have you here for hours, but you have lives, you have things to write that we need to enjoy, so. How would you recommend improving your writing through non-collegiate means? So recommended books, practices, means of review, critique. Basically, what words of wisdom or advice do you have for people in the audience who would like to someday be as successful and skilled as all of you?
Just do what I don't, and write. Yeah, do what I don't. But write every day. Just write. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Just make a habit of just writing all the time, every day.
And if you want to write scripts, read scripts and see how they work. Because I think reading it actually gives you a better sense of the mechanics of a script. I think a lot of people want to be TV writers and they don't even do that. And I think it's important to know like how to write the descriptions and how to write the emotions and not overwrite it. There's a very delicate balance there, but along with reading books, if you want to write books, or just reading everything.
Not to steal, there's a podcast I listen to for anybody who's interested in screenwriting called Script Notes, and it's a very good podcast by Craig Mason and can't remember the other guy.
John August.
John August. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just read the good stuff. If you want to learn how to write dialogue, read Flannery O'Connor. If you want to learn how to write screenplays, read The Bourne Identity. Find the best version of it and read it and figure out how it goes. I learned more reading The Bourne Identity script than any film school class I ever took. It's 2 hours. I was just like, oh, that's what you do.
Oh yeah, I have one more thing that I do. A lot of people I know have their headphones in all the time now and you don't really listen to what's going on. But it's really important to listen to how people talk to each other and like the balance of that. Even if I'm not saying eavesdrop on everyone, that's not cool.
No, that's what you're saying.
But
and it's good
I don't know,
advice.
if you're sitting on the bus and there's somebody, like 2 people talking behind you, it's interesting to hear how they speak to one another. And I think that's really important to pay attention to that and take note.
My daughter is my daughter and my husband, I'll be sitting there, at a restaurant, and I'll be, I think I'm talking to them. They're listening to everybody else. They couldn't care less what I'm saying. They're like, the 2 of them listening to everybody else, and then they start relaying it to me, and paying attention to what other people say, and is amazing. And as a writer, then you totally get to steal that stuff. Those people you're never gonna see those people again. So that's great material. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite dialogues that I stole was I was in Trader Joe's and these people talking about turkey jerky. And they're like, oh, you have that turkey jerky? Yeah, I have the turkey jerky. How's that turkey jerky? It's good jerky. And I was just like, they were just talking about the turkey jerky, and it was just a kooky, ridiculous conversation. I said, that is going in my play, and it's in my play that got me my job at Cartoon Network. So thank you, turkey jerky people, and each side.
On that note, let's have another huge round of applause for our talented group of writers, Mr. L.A. Larson, Natasha Lavender, Josh Haber, Heather Newford, Gian Barrow, and Amy Keating-Rogers.
Thank you guys for having us. This has been really fun.
And as a point of order, apparently ConOps has lots and lots of lost property, so if you've lost any items, swing by ConOps and you may be able to find it there. Thank you all for coming.